Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon or evening. So today's class is week 5, which is 2nd of April 2021. So BFF1602 and BHM1602 technical drawing. So we will start with understanding 4 things today. So the first one, we're going to work on the orthographic in CAD, and then the layers in AutoCAD, and then we will do object snap, and then we will focus on doing layout, but not in necessarily in 1 2 3 4 lah. We will start first with maybe the layout first, and then object snap, and then layers, and then orthographic drawing. Okay, whichever necessary. Now I put this in your Telegram as well as in your Kalam. I will also post an assignment too. Okay, in Kalam. I also post in your Telegram tonight. Possibly after 8:30 or 9 p.m. because I'm still working on the don't know which to give you for your assignment, or we can focus on many other things. Anyway, the objective of today is to do a setting up drawing, okay, to know the different types of measurement, and then to create a drawing sheet out of A4 paper using a setup wizard to draw the session using grid and object snap, and then using the appropriate line types, okay, as well as doing line types in colors, line widths, and using LT scale to scale the line types. Then we apply the current layer and modify the setting in the object properties toolbar, as well as applying filter to the layers, and know a little bit about express features in the layer properties. So without further, we will focus on the AutoCAD. So here's the AutoCAD. Now before that, we will go to the see what we are doing. The first thing we should do is drawing units. Locate the format. Okay, locate the format pull down on the drawing units to allow style of units, the precision of units, the angle measurement, as well as the direction. So from your AutoCAD, if you have taken it out, you should type in UNIT, which will command you with unit, and then this will come out. So if you choose decimal, make sure you choose 2 decimals. Decimal degree, you can choose up to 1 decimal degree. Choose millimeters, and then the direction, you choose east for 0 degrees. So 0 degrees east, north is 90, west is 180, 270 south. Click OK. Done. Next is we will point out the limits of our virtual paper. So your space here, we want to determine your virtual paper. So for your virtual paper, take out this. You can either use okay, make sure you grid object snap, you type in F7 for F7 for grid on, grid off, F9 for snap off or snap on. Okay, if you click on snap on, snap off, you can do that. Okay, so first corner is 0, 0. Okay, that's your first corner, and click on enter. This is your first corner, and then your second corner is so the top one is 297, the bottom one is 210, and then you click on OK. So this will be your drawing virtual paper of A4. Alright, your A4. So the x-y coordinates of the left and right needs to determine by the first 0 0 view lah, to ease your drawing using absolute coordinate. Kalau nak guna, if you want to use the relative coordinate, also you need to start with 0 0. Now we calculate this one. If you're using a English unit, you always precisely choose ANSIA, which is letter, 11 inch by 8.5 inch. Using the scale, you need to determine the scale. If you're using a 1 by 1 scale, this is the size. 2 by 1 scale is 5.5 by 2.45, and so on. If you're using a 11.5, using the main paper, if you look at the ones that we have, scale factor of 25.4 mm, so the size would be 279 by 216. Tapi we chose 297 210. So different size of paper. Larger in the width but smaller in the height. Okay. So those are the first two setup you need to do. Next, you need to determine the precision of the units. So the precision, you need to determine which angles, and also that one we have done already. And now the grid tools. Okay, for grid tools to display, this one is the drafting setting. Display series and non-plotting dots. So basically, if you have this, if you want to remove it, you just type in F7, it will remove the grid off. If you click on F9, you can snap like this, snap off. If you click on F9 again, snap on. If you choose line, for example, no snapping there. Okay, so F9, snap off, line. Okay, you can measure you can do the snap off and grid off by choosing the line. Now for turning on and off by F7, so the rule of thumb is to set the grid to maximum of 1/2 snap size, which is 0.5. So I'm talking about last time was the F9 key. So to get this, you need to type in D setting. So go to A, type in D setting. Okay. So this will give you the draft setting. So the snap, you can define the snap on by just clicking on the snap. So the snap will be either 0.5 for every this one, for every box in here is 0.5. Okay, space is equal. If you don't want the space non-equal, you can just remove the non-equal space. You can change this one as well. Major line, for every line you can change this one also. The polar tracking 90 degrees, you can also do that. You can add midpoint if you want. You can also add quadrant, it's up to you. Object snap. Okay, once you're satisfied with that, just click on OK, and we'll have the setting for the snap. Okay, snap, grid snap. So we finished the first two already. I'm doing this fast, so we got the layout and the object snap. So we will go to the layer and then the orthographic CAD. Alright, so next is to determine the lines. Okay, so if you remember, these are the type of lines that you have: the hidden lines, the dimension line, the extension line, the object line. So how many is that? There 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have about 9 lines, including the visible line. So that is 10. Okay, around 10 lines we need to determine. Now in AutoCAD, you need to define that one by one. Each line has to be defined. So through that, what do you think when I say the word layer? So layer is, for example, you think of cake, for example, right? But in reality, or building, for example, of many floors, okay? But in reality, layers allow drafters to help categorize drawing information by giving them the capability to separate it into individual levels. These levels are called layers. So now layer properties, you can do that by I will give you an assignment on this. Okay, you can do that by getting to the layer property manager. Okay, first you determine the new buttons, create the new layer, create the current button, make the selected layer, delete the button, remove the selected layer, show the detail button, expand the button and dialog. That can all be set. So the layers can also be turned on and off. Can also be set as freeze to turn off. Okay, this one is to turn on and off. The layers can turn off and prevents the regeneration, thaw and unfreeze the layer. Okay, now we go to the AutoCAD and see where the layers is. You can type in layer. Okay, what happens is that the layer will come out. Okay, this is the current layer that has come out. So you can set this layer. Set this layer according to the layers that you want. For example, at the moment we have continuous, solid line, appearance. You have white color. Okay, for appearances, you set the layers as line type, continuous. Okay, transparent. Alright, so you can add more layers to this by typing on the layers. To close it, just click on close. You can also go to layer properties like this one. Click on layer properties up there. That will come out as well. Alright, same thing. Okay, this will be shown which layers that you have already. Now, the lock of the layer makes the layer read only, which prevents changes. The unlock removes the lock on the layer. The color applies a new color on the layer, and then the line type changes the style of the line on the layer. Line width also changes the line width of the layer. Okay, this is the line type, this is the line width. The plot allows the user to control how the plot will look based on the setting that are made, and then the plot will be plotted to your printer. So each layer properties, you can click on each icon to trigger the change. For example, a dim light bulb means layer is turned off, like this one. If I add a new one, so up here you have new layer with frozen, delete layer, set current. Say I want to have a new layer, so a new layer will appear. So I would like to have a hidden line, for example. So hidden line, you must set the color of hidden line, say red. Okay, red. So this will become red. A continuous line, load it and find a hidden line. You can either choose 0.5 smaller scale hidden line. I'll choose the hidden line up here. The hidden line will be added to here. Okay, the line width can be also added. If you are interested in adding the line width as 0.15, it will become a line width. Is it transparent? Value from 0 to 90. It depends on up to you. Okay. So if you want to use this hidden line, you just double click it. It will give you an arrow, a correct arrow, just to show you that you're doing a hidden line. So say now I've used the hidden line. So the hidden line will appear on this. You see the layer, the bulb is appearing, the light is also appearing. So say if I choose line and I want to draw the line from here, for example. Now look closely, you will see that the line has become red, and then if I say make it small, okay, go closer, you will see the lines are shown like a hidden line. Alright, now this will be printed in your paper like that. Change it back to this one. Okay, when you draw back, the line will become white again, and if I look closely microscopically, the lines are all connected. Alright, So you do this at home. Okay, try to use all types of line from here, either hidden line, cutting line, dimension line, extension line, and so other line, which more other lines, just to increase your player properties. Okay. The layer properties, okay, this one for example, this is an object properties. You have a layer. So if you look closely on the layer control, this is the control layer. Once you want to draw something, say for example a symbol would be in blue color, so all the symbols are in blue. And then the control will show, this one is in 2000, so it's very old, but the latest one would be the one I've shown you, like this one. Okay, it's similar, but has been upgraded. Now these are known as the layer control area. The click on the symbol for layer above, for example on and off, and then the sun is to show how the freeze and unfreeze. So if you freeze it, you cannot use it. If you unfreeze it, then you can use it back. To lock and unlock does the same. So this one also used as the same thing which we have been discussed previously, which allows you to remove the lock on the layer. Okay, makes the layer read only, which prevents changes. Okay, freeze turns the layer off and prevents regeneration. Okay, maybe you can play around with that. Okay. Now the line types in AutoCAD has many line types, which we have done here. We can use show the segments of size of the change of the line types by using LT scale. Okay, you can also change the line types here. Okay, for the current moment the new line type is 1. You can change it to 5, 10. Say if you want to change the line types to 5, for example, click on enter, draw this one. Well, it doesn't specifically you first click on the line, LT scale. Let's increase it to 50 just to see the differences. Not much. Okay, not much. Okay, you can play around with that. Okay, LT scale. So the default would be 1. So the line types, say if you're using 1, would be the size between here to here would be 1. If you make it 0.5, it will go smaller. If you increase smaller, it will be 2, and LT scale for 2 would be like this. This is for hidden line. Okay, let's look at hidden line. Change this one to hidden line. Click on the line at the moment. Okay, LT scale. Change to 0.25. Go to the line. See the differences. Click on the line. Okay, and see that the becomes very small, compared to say LT scale, say 5. The difference would be very well, almost the same. I think it changes when you change the LT scale. Yeah, I believe that is the, yeah, if you click on this, it will show you the, I think that the LT scale will change everything in the hidden line. Okay, so basically, say if I choose LT scale, to 1. Yeah, that's true. Okay, it changes when you change the LT scale. No wonder I did the first previous one, it didn't change, because it changes instantly. Next is can also be applied to both globally throughout the drawing. Okay, yeah, that's why it applies both globally throughout the drawing and then locally to allow selected objects to be changed. So if you click on that and then you use LT scale, you can also change that as well. Now, the layer filter controls the display of layer based on the layer properties. So set up by picking up the next two. So here, in here, you can change the layer properties by showing all the layer. Okay, you can go to layer properties by clicking on either this, okay, and then you can, in here we have already, you can show everything here, all use layer and all. So in previous one, it is like this. Now it's same thing. So you can apply the change the filter's name. So you can also change the filter for all the layers. Let's filter all the layers except the blue colors. This one is once you have done all the layers like this. Okay, do this. I will give you an exercise. Do this layer one by one until 8. No, do not this exercise, the line exercise. Do all the line exercise like this one, all these 10 line, do layers in all of it. Okay, name them one by one, and then you color them each one differently. Okay, now that is one way to do layers in AutoCAD. Okay, you can also use many other names like Elman. Elman will give you a layer state manager to add new types of, to allow. Okay, layer manager will help you to manage all the match the different objects layers, change the current layers, and do all of this information up here into your layers. Manage the settings that are made in the layer properties and then create a layer state like this to store in your .lay file. You can save this, so you can apply this back. For example, if you want to use this in your test, your test will probably came out like this. You can use this back, so save in your .lay file. Okay, and then you can use also laymch to change the selected object to match the layer destination selection, and also to use laycur CUR to the current layer. You can view this, and this one is all the tools that you use to determine the layer express tools. Okay, these are the layer express tools abbreviation for you to use in the hereafter. Okay, after this class. Now, finally, once we've complete all the, we've touched on the dimensions, we've touched on the layers, we've touched on the size of the paper. Now we're touching on we haven't touched on the inside the paper yet. We've touched on now we're doing alphabets, so we haven't touched on the orthographic yet. Now we're going to use alphabets. So the alphabet is an engineering text to communicate with non-graphic information. Thus, it must be written legibly, shaped, space between the letters must be applied, and the uniform size and line thickness. So this is an example of what your title block should be. Okay, you must have this title block here. Okay, this is your title block will look like. So you must have this all the time until week 14. Okay, you must have this all the time until week 14. Will be used in test So prepare, please prepare, each one of you prepare this. So we will do this from here. As you can see, this is your paper. So what you should do is you must first draw the bottom line. No, this one first. So the first line would be, I would probably use something called the offset. Okay, an offset is easy for me to use. So you specify the distance of the offset. The distance you specify, I want to specify the left and right 6. So click on this one. We'll specify all the not 6. Okay, if you put 6, you can put 6. If you put 5, okay, this is your first. This will be your first offset button. So you have this already. 5, 5, 5, 5. Now we want 25. A line 25 for this one. And in between will be a 9, 8, and the rest is 25 by minus 17 would be, okay, 25 minus 17. So that will be another 8. So 8, 8, 9. Okay. From here we will have to draw a line, for example, from here to here. So offset the line. Offset this line. First we want to identify is as 8. And then another 8, and then another 9. Okay, that is why. Okay, now this is a very bad view. You can use another different kind of process for this one. Okay, this is just for me to ease my work. So the first one would be 8, 8, 9. I think that is correct. Yep, hopefully it is correct. Let me see using a dimension. Okay, this one is a dimension. You can determine the dimension from here to here is, this is 5. So basically this is 5. From here to here, the dimension should be 5 as well. Okay, now I made a mistake on drawing the dimension. Okay, so what I want you to do is, we can remove this, change the offset again. Okay, this one can be removed. Okay, do it back using offset. So this will be 5. Choose this. Okay, so this should be 5. Hopefully this time is not wrong anymore. Okay, no wonder I'm using hidden line. Okay, the real point should be okay, we can set this one. We should be setting this one to this one about 5 mm. So basically we've drawn something that we do not want. Hopefully this is 5. Okay, I trust the computer. I set the computer to 5, so it should be 5. Okay, it should be 5. So the line should be setting here. The line from here should be set as 5. Okay, so I trust the computer. So Oh, it should be 5. It's 5.38. Ah, okay, no wonder. Alright, because the line setting should be here to here is 5. Okay, now it's correct. Alright. So the first one is 5. Again, let's look back at the PowerPoint. So it's 5 on each side. So now an increase of 8, and then another 8 and 9. Alright, 5, 8, 8 and 9. So 5, this is an 8, so an offset of this would be another 8. This offset would be 8 from here, another 8. I believe that this one is already, yep, okay. And then another offset from here is a 9. So you have to, you must do that. Okay, so that's the first 3 line. And then we have a 90 to here, 60, 70 and 57. So what I want you to do is I want you to do this. And then next is to draw these letters. Okay, so the top continuous thick line would be the visible line, continuous thin line would be the dimension line and extension line. So you must change the line. For this one, okay, for this layer properties here, for the first continuous line, the default is the default value. So if you want to say change the visible line, you just click on this one. So those other lines will increase. Okay, I don't think you can see it here, but if I increase this larger, you can see the line will hopefully increase as well. So basically what happens is the line is not, okay, it does not increase effectively. So you must, okay, it does shows the line, but it doesn't really determine, okay, the line should be about what? It doesn't say the width of the line. So maybe you can do this and find out why this doesn't happen. Unable to modify the line while another comment is active. Okay. So basically it's 0.9. Maybe an increment larger one would see the differences. Let's see if we can copy this. If we can set another line here. See the changes. Not that much. Okay, not that much. So what you should do is you should draw the layer first. Okay, do the layer first before you draw anything. Before you draw the title block. All right. So next is, this is an example, okay, of line converting from engineering drawing, dimension line, extension line, okay, leader line, and then the center line. So do this. I'll give you an exercise to do this. Draw this one, for example, and then first you must set, before you draw, set the visible line, leader line, extension line, dimension line, center line, set in different color. Okay, so add more. So I currently have the the hidden line. Now I will have the dimension line. Okay, and then what else do we need? We need the extension line. And then we have the leader line. Center line. Okay, for this one we can rename this. Okay, we can change this one to visible line, visible thick. Now for each one, for example, visible thick, we can change the line weight to thicker, say a thicker line, 0.5 for example. And then the dimension line, you should find it smaller, 0.13, a smaller line. Color should be changed to say light green. And then this color here, visible line, should always be changed to white. Okay, visible line has to be thick and white. And then the leader line should also change to the thickness to 0.09 for example, or 0.18. The color would change to orange for example. Okay, you do this and do this all for all this line and draw. Then once you have done for all that line, then you may start the drawing. So first we use the visible line. Okay, click this to make it a drawing. So what I'm going to do is going to draw a circle. This is just an example of drawing. Another circle for example, and then I have a line connect between this. Okay, I'm going to use tangent. Select the first object to tangent. Okay, select the second object for example. Oh, I haven't changed the line. So say I'm going to use this line, and then I'm going to draw another line like this. Alright, so use a tangent. Select the first object to tangent. This is the first object and this is the second object. So that is the first line. And then another one, tangent. First object is this one, and then this is the second object. This is an example of the, for example, I'm doing this. Now I want to have a center line here, so I'm going to change this to a center line. I have not changed the color of the center line, so change this one to say blue. I haven't used blue. And then this one to load, find the center line, click on OK, change this one to center line, and then I'm going to use this center line to draw a line for this one for example. Okay, this is my center line. Okay, that's one center line. Another one would be this center line. Okay, this is not center. Another line from the center to the edge. So an example, okay? So draw this to your understanding. Do this, okay? And then the scale is the ratio. This one is the drawing scale, which I talked about previously. So I'm going to, okay, remove. I'm going to skip that one. The dimension is also I'm going to skip. Now the placement of dimension is very important. The placement of dimension must be between, okay, if you cannot, this one is poor, if you, because it overrides this line. So you must have a center line, a dimension line that has no, okay, no center lines on the leader line. Okay, should not cross the leader line. So anything that shows something that cross the leader line is malpractice, not a good practice. And then also for this one, do not have the extension line drawn inside, always on the outside. Same goes for the visible line. Do not show that the the extension line or the leader line, okay, connects like this without visible line, without leaving a gap. Okay, must be over the top of the visible line. The object line, the center line, the dimension line on the extension line must not be inside, always on the outside. Okay, that has already been explained previously. Avoid dimension hidden line as well. Hidden line must not be dimensional, must not be dimension. And then the outside view, unless you place them on the inside of the hole, okay, that is correct, but not the inside of the drawing. As well goes to the dimension line. You must always clearly show that the center line, the dimension line is drawn where it's supposed to be. Okay, the shape of it, not like this. We do not know, we do not need the size of this shape, but we do not even know what this shape is, except for this one. And then we need to verify the dimension line, that it should always be in a parallel. Okay, a parallel or series, or in series. Okay, make sure that is always in your recommended practice. Okay, do not repeat the dimension. That is one more thing. Alright, okay, so for the text style, I already explained to you about the text already in our previous class. Make sure you use the text style Arial, regular, and the height you have to set the width and the height. So if you choose Arial, you must choose, say if you're using for this one, it's 889, use the Arial, the text style as 4. Okay. So basically, what you should do is, you should go to command and type ST. Okay, type an ST. Make sure always to do this before you write something. Change to the height to 4. Okay, and then the width factor is 1. Change to Arial. set this as current, or you can save this as current. If you want to set a new one, you can change the new one. You type in Arial, okay, go new one, and then you set as current, also can be done. Okay, so you know that this is your drawing. So set the dimension, the border of the dimension. So once you're setting that, you set the height Arial, and then set the new current Arial and set current, then set the border D, okay, the dimension, find the dimension D, type here below for the dimension. Okay, set the dimension as well. Before you draw anything, you set the dimension, modify it. Okay, go to lines. Okay, go to lines and choose the color magenta or whatever. Change the line weight to 0.5 and the baseline to 3.75. And then the extension line as well, you need to change to line weight, the extension beyond 0.3 and 0.3. Do that for all, okay? Modify. And this one, you can change the color to magenta or something, okay? And then you can change all of this. Just copy it, line type, okay, change it based on the drawings that the slide that I'm giving you. Okay, change the modify, and don't forget to set the current view, okay, arrow size and so on. Set the height as well, and the text is also in ISO standard. The primary units is in precision, okay, and then set your style. Put your name here. For example, if your name is Amma, put Amma style and click on continue and click on OK. And then click on close. You will see in the layer properties, you will have the styles, okay, the current styles. Do this also for your center line, your text. Change the text as well. Okay, draw with a red color if you want. The green, for example. This is for your text. And then you can go to load and find the center line, okay, or a solid line. Change to the center line. Change the size to 0.05. Okay, so why don't you do this exercise? This is the final slide. Do this exercise. First of all, what I want you to do is, for your exercise, is I will also upload this in Kalam on what you need to do, but just to present to you, what you need to do is first you do the layers first. Once you complete the layer, you do also the text, and you also do the lines. Complete the layer, and then do the first one, which is the first one, which is the title block. So that's two things: to title block, the layers. You complete the layer, you complete the title block, and then what I want you to do is, I want you to draw your name on top of the title block, and then finally draw these two lines, draw these two drawings, as well as include another drawing of the side view, okay, the side view drawing. Okay, so I will put this in Kalam. Hopefully you can do this and submit to me by next week, I think, for your assignment 2. Alright, so that's all for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you understand all. Sorry for not being able to do the class today online. If you have time, if you have a problem, ask me in the Telegram. Okay, we will help you as possible, but don't ask me during the weekend. Okay, only Monday to Friday. All right, that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.